Disclaimer. This video is only for entertainment purpose, so if you're sensitive or can't differentiate between fictional and real world, then please watch it on your own risk. English is not my first language, so please ignore any grammatical or spelling mistakes. If you like it, then please consider subscribing, and if you hate it, please do not write hate comments because it hurts. Thank you so much, and now please enjoy. Finally, after so long, got the pleasure to meet you, he said, shaking hands with the man who smiled. I've heard a lot about you. In fact, you're on top right now. The man slightly smiled and looked at the woman standing beside the middle-aged man who is currently talking to him. The way her big angelic eyes were shining, the black dress which was perfectly hugging her body, making her the spotlight. She was looking like a goddess of true beauty, just perfect that anyone can get fascinated to her. Mr. Kim followed his gaze and a smile appeared on his face when he saw both of them looking at each other. He cleared his throat to gain their attention. Well, young man, she is my daughter Kim Wyan. The man again looked at you as you passed him a smile that worked like a droplet of water trying to melt his heart. It's a pleasure to see an alluring beauty like you. You smiled shyly and looked down while Mr. Kim laughed a little. She is going to be the next leader of this gang, so I thought why not already try to make her familiar with how a gang works. She is in a learning process. That's very impressive. Your eyes again met. Then Mr. Kim looked at you. He is the most powerful mafia right in this moment. We had so many deals with his dad back in time. He was also a very popular mafia. Then the pleasure is mine to meet such a big personality like you, you said, extending your hand while smiling. Jungkook didn't waste a second and held your hand gently for handshake. Well, I'll leave you two youngsters here. It will be so good to know each other. Jungkook smiled just a little while Mr. Kim walked away. He slowly turned his face towards you, who was already looking at him. So, Miss Beautiful, you take interest in running a gang. That's new and a very impressive thing to hear. Well, if a man can do that, why not a woman? He chuckled. Why, everything is so attractive in you. You smiled. So how much you have learned already? You sighed. I guess not a lot, but one thing is sure that I hate attending these mafia parties. So boring. He chuckled. I already guessed that. Well, I'm not a big fan too, but work makes us do impossible things too. This made you laugh a little. If I get company like you, maybe it's not that boring. He tilted his head slightly with a smile. You like my company? He looked around at the other mafias and their right-hand men who were present in the party. At least you are more attractive than any of the mafia here, he said, shifting your eyes back at him. So it's just an attraction? You didn't say anything and took a sip of your drink. He suddenly came closer to you, making you flinch. He wrapped his hands around your neck without touching the skin and untangled the necklace from your hand. He backed up, but you still felt your body froze on your place. You find yourself holding breath and released it when he backed up. Real, a heritage in bloom? You snapped back and gave a nod. It's my mom's. He smiled. It looks good on you, as if only made for you. Thank you for the compliment. Wanna dance? He said, pointing towards the dance floor where other gangster couples were enjoying. I'm not really a good dancer. Just follow me and look me in my eyes. He grabbed your hand and walked you towards the dance floor. Never thought I'll feel this much connected to any person only after one meeting. And I never thought I'll fall for someone at first sight. Your cheeks turned pink. You tried to control your smile. He opened the car door for you. Hope to meet you again in future if possible. Jungkook left the door and pulled you closer in a kiss which made you a little surprised. He pulled away and looked at you. Now this will make it possible for sure. You felt so overwhelmed. He opened the door and you sat inside the car. The driver started the engine and drove while you looked at Jungkook from rear mirror as you didn't want it to leave any soon. Why didn't you told me that your freaking father is working with the enemy gang? He said, walking inside the living room angrily while Lisa didn't bother to look at him and was reading her book, or you can say just pretending, only to piss him off because she knows how to do that very well. It won't take me long to make him disappear from this world, so you better tell me why he's freaking helping the enemy gang without informing me. She finally put down her book and looked at him. First of all, they are your enemies and not his, so you better not to act like a boss. And also, why would he ask you for anything? You should be grateful that he's still keeping your identity hidden. Jungkook's jaw clenched as he came near to his wife, who didn't break the eye contact. Isn't it why? Because no one knows the true face of the almighty and kind president who is known to be the savior of public, who is keeping him safe from that, huh? She rolled her eyes. And why do you think that you are the smartest, huh? Why did you order Daniel to spy on me? Do you really think I would never get to know what you do? She smiled and looked at him. Then you might also know that I got to know what you do behind my back. He didn't said anything. Was she that pretty that you couldn't resist? She said, turning her face at him. This is the first and last time I'm warning you to not interfere in my personal life, because I also don't say anything to you when you spend nights out with your boyfriends. So you better not try to take interest in my life. She laughed with a scoff and looked at him. Can't believe we once were madly in love, because now all I think about is choke you to death for making my life like this. Won't you ask why I do that? Let me tell you, I want love. I want love and attention that you never give to me. I can never forgive myself for falling in love with you and making my life miserable by myself. You're such a bastard, a heartless bastard. Didn't you feel a little bit ashamed before getting closer to that woman, huh? Is that how unbothered you are? Did she know that the man she was clinging with is already married? He was trying to hold his anger. Have you ever wondered what would be her reaction once she found out that? She said, folding her arms while smirking. We are splitting up soon, so there won't be any problem, because I don't love a selfish and self-obsessed girl like you. And don't you dare to eye on her, or else. He paused while she scoffed. Or else? You'll kill me? She walked near him. Hope she'll get to know about this dark side of you before ending up like me. She grabbed her book and left from there, leaving him standing in silence. It's true that he used to love her, but it's only because he felt bad for her and was just trying to give her the same love she was giving to him. He knew that they won't work out because he never loved her the way he wants to love the girl he'll fall for. In fact, he never found a woman yet like that. Once Jungkook's identity was revealed by the crime investigation department, and he would have been publicly exposed if Lisa's father didn't help him. He is a very corrupted politician, and now, because of Jungkook's help, he became the president. He told Jungkook to marry his daughter because she likes him. Jungkook was not confident that time, and left with no choice, he agreed. He tried to love her and develop feelings for her, but after 6 months he gave up. He started feeling like he is doing something wrong and he's basically forcing himself, which will end up nowhere. He felt like he's betraying her and playing with her feelings because he doesn't love her in real. He finally confronted her and told her about his feelings. He asked her for divorce, but because Lisa was not ready and she asked for some time, he didn't mind that, but now they live their lives separately, just like strangers. Today when he saw Ryan, first time in his life he felt that attraction he always wanted for a woman. She made him forget about who he is and made him feel like a completely different person. He forgot what he was doing at that moment, her delightful smile, that delicate skin, and most importantly, those angelic eyes, from which he's still not over yet. He felt like surrendering himself to her, and that's when he realized she is the one whom he was looking for. But she was like a perfect person met at wrong time. You were going to take shower while smiling on your own. From the time you came back from the party, the smile never left your lips. The way he pulled you for a kiss, you can still feel his lips. It was a love at first meeting for you, and you don't even want to leave this thought out of your mind. You were about to go inside the bathroom, but you got a notification. Usually you don't check your message that early, but today you suddenly felt the urge as you reached out to your phone and opened the text. A wide smile appeared on your face when you saw the message. It was from Jungkook and he wrote, "Are you sleeping?" You quickly tapped him back while trying to calm your racing heartbeat. "Nope, I was going to take shower." Within a second he replied back, "Can we meet tomorrow?" You put your hand on your chest. God, he's so straightforward. Who says he's heartless? I've never met a guy who melted my heart like him before. You started to type him a reply. "Okay, when and where? I'll come to pick you up by myself." You hid your face in pillow while smiling, then you fixed your hair and texted back, "Okay, I'll wait." "Good night." You giggled. You too. You put your phone on your chest and stared at the ceiling. "Oh, what is this place? It's all empty." "Because I've booked it all," he said, pulling out a chair for you while you looked him surprised. "Seriously?" He didn't say anything. You both sat on your chairs while the waiters came with drinks. They arranged everything on the table and left after bowing down. "I didn't thought that our second meeting will be this soon." He picked a bottle and poured wine in your glass. "Me neither, but I just couldn't help myself." Again you blushed. He offered you the glass. "Thank you." He then took a sip of his drink and looked at you. "Do you have a boyfriend or have you ever dated a guy?" You were expecting this to come because you already knew he is in love with you, because no guy will kiss a woman like that on their first meeting. And you also didn't mind it at all. "Well, currently I'm not, but I've been into few relationships which didn't last it long because I've never found someone my type before." You could see his face getting relaxed and you liked that. "So, what's your type?" "Now I don't have a type anymore," you said, looking in his eyes while he nodded. "What about you? I mean, of course you've been into so many, but still I heard that you don't really like getting into relationship." "I mean, it's just a rumor, I'm sure," he said, cutting the steak while Jungkook was just looking at you. There was a silence for a minute and then he spoke. "I'm married." Your hands paused on their places. It's like a flood came and destroyed the beautiful field you have cultivated out of love. You didn't even find courage to look up at him. He put his glass on the table and sighed. "Before you think of me as a bad guy, let me explain something to you. Why did you kiss me yesterday?" You finally lift up your head and your eyes were showing how broken you were feeling. "Let me tell you something." You put your spoon and fork down. To be honest, I fell for you already, but it's better that you told me this already because now I can control myself from growing my feelings further. You should listen to me first. You got up. I'm sorry, but I don't want to be called a mistress and neither wants to break someone's house. You picked your purse and walked, but he grabbed your hand and got up. We are getting divorced soon. It was only a deal for me. I love you, Ryan, he said, coming behind you. But still, you are a married man, and my self respect will never allow me to break someone's house and become a mistress. He jerked his hand and walked away from there. Jungkook looked other side as his body started to tremble with anger. He took the bottle and threw it on the floor, making it break into pieces. You came back home, you were having mixed emotions. You wanted to cry, but at the same time, you felt that whatever you did was a wise decision to make. You can't be a side chick whether it's someone you fell in love with or anyone else, but still your heart was crying because you did fall in love with him. You were going upstairs angrily when a maid came with a glass of water, but it dropped from her hand right when she reached you. What the are you doing? She got so terrified. I'm sorry, ma'am, it dropped by mistake. Can you one sorry help it in fixing? If you guys don't know how to do the work properly, then no need to come here. You got me? I don't want to see any of your faces. You poured all your anger on them, meanwhile they were standing hanging their heads low. What happened, princess? Why are you yelling at them? He said, walking inside and looked at you with concerned face. These lazy people don't know how to work properly. We don't need them anymore. Your eyes got red and all this was so unusual of you because you never talk like that to anyone. Everyone was so confused and shocked. What's the matter, princess? What happened? Nothing, Dad. I just don't want to see their faces by tomorrow. With that, you walked upstairs. Meanwhile, Mr. Kim sighed and looked at those servants who were still standing with their heads low. You all get back to your works and please be careful from next time. They all get back to their works while Mr. Kim looked upstairs and sighed. You slammed your door and threw yourself on your bed. Your phone started to vibrate, and when you looked at the caller ID, your tears finally escaped from your eyes. Jungkook was calling you continuously and he texted you also. You threw your phone in anger and buried your face in the mattress. You came to the private beach your dad has owned. You often come here whenever you feel vulnerable or at your lowest. You wanted to wipe up all the thoughts which reminds you of Jungkook. You wanted to convince your heart that he can never be yours. You swallowed the lump in your throat that was hurting you because you were holding back yourself from crying. Today the sound of waves also didn't able to give you the peace. How hard you will try to ignore me now. You flinched and looked at him who was standing beside you. What are you doing here and how did you came here? You looked beside him but there was no bodyguard. He turned his face towards you with a smile. You can't make decisions without listening to me. I don't want to listen anything. Leave me alone. I love you and I know you love me too. Stop this nonsense. Yes, I grew feelings for you, but that is because I didn't know who you really are. He came closer to you, but you didn't move an inch. This is what I'm truly is. I love you and I fell in love with you when I first saw you. That marriage was nothing but a deal for me. I tried hard to be in it, but I can't because she's not the one made for me. You scoffed in disbelief. That is why people says never to judge anyone at first impression because not everyone show their true colors. I showed my true feelings because I really love you, Ryan. Try to understand. What do you want me to understand, Jungkook? For a minute, even if I accept that you love me, then what will name our love? What will I be to you? Your wife? How will she feel when she come to know about it? Don't you care about anyone else? Is that why people call you heartless? Now I know that those are not just rumors. Just trust me once and I won't let you down. My wife, she already knows we are already living separate lives. Once we'll get divorced, we can marry. You are not understanding it at all. Just look at me in the eyes. I love you so much. I wish I could met you earlier, but maybe we were destined like that. Our love is going to be the most special one. You're right. I do wish that we would have met earlier, but now it's too late, and it's better we stop here before this go too far. You can't stay away from me. Leave me alone. At first you said you like me, now you can't hate me like that. I only confessed my love to you. You look deep in his eyes. What do you think you are? Do you think that after knowing about you, I still have feelings for you? Still? You paused as he came closer, filling the gap between you two. It means you still in love with me. Don't lie because you can't hide it from me. He tried to kiss you but you pushed him away as he laughed a little. What are you doing? Stay away from me. Did you get it? You left from there leaving him standing. Don't try to lie, Lisa. I can clearly see you're not happy. There's nothing like that there. If nothing, then why you hang out with other guys? Why are you not cheerful as before? He was never in love with you. It was you who insisted to marry him and as if he's a toy you can own. She didn't say anything while her dad came near her. Leave him because now I'll make his life miserable. Kim Min Jun. He's having an affair with his daughter. What? She looked at him and nodded. And I know no matter what he'll try to win her heart. But I won't let that happen. He can't love anyone else except me, and if he does, then they have to sacrifice their lives. She said as her hands clenched into fists. You were walking towards your car after coming from your training. You were still in your workout clothes. You opened the door but your eyes widened when you saw Jungkook sitting on the driver's seat. How did you... You tried to get up from the car but he's already locked the door. Just freaking open the door. You started to bang on it. He took out a tape and stuck it over your mouth. I tried to convince you through your way. Now I'll use my way. Because no matter how hard I'm trying, you're not understanding my love. He tied your hands together. I'm sorry, I seriously don't want to do any of these things, but you left me with no choice. Your eyes filled with tears, he wiped your eyes with his thumb. One day you will definitely realize how much I love you, and I would do anything to make it happen. He started the engine and drove off. What the hell you're saying? I'm sorry, sir, he said, hanging his head low. Where were you all? Go and find out. I want her to be here by evening or else you all will be in heaven. Mr. Kim got crazy when he heard his beloved daughter got kidnapped. He picked up the phone and dialed a number. Jungkook, I need your help.